Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move to what could be arguably the most prestigious award of the night, and that is the Australian Songwriters Hall of Fame. It is time for me now to introduce someone who, I've said for the last few years, needs no introduction. So let me just say, here he is, Mr. Glenn A. Baker.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today at a time when she was mounting her ABC television series, Kate Ceberano and Friends, just one part of a dizzyingly diverse career that has touched more musical bases in a year than most of her contemporaries could manage over a lifetime. That having debuted with the Hoagie Cats at age 14, she was wont then to call herself the Queen of Hybrid, once telling a Melbourne Sunday newspaper, "I'm a ham, always have been. I love performing. I did it as a child. I was one of those little girls who danced on tables." Or as she put it more recently, "Music was my first love, and it came to me before I even knew I was capable of love. The fact that I could sing was bigger than myself." That she has become intertwined in our lives, in the cultural fabric of the nation, is not up for debate. We know her from spectacular stage musicals. We know her from surging, funky, dance-based hits and from incredibly classy reworkings of songs from eras beyond and parallel to rock. We know her from concerts with full orchestras. We know her from her stewardship of the Adelaide Cabaret Festival. We know her from her whirling dervish turns on Dancing with the Stars, which I'm told she won. What concerns us here is something else again. It is her personal input and contribution to the body of recorded work that bears her name. It is her role as a songwriter, a role that has grown in stature as the years have rolled by. Certainly there is a noble positioning for the quality interpreter in music, be it Sinatra, Elvis, Farnham, Linda Ronstadt, Cliff Richard, Michael Bublé and the like. And Kate could easily have taken her place in the ranks of those who take existing songs and render them superbly, with the assistance of a range of collaborators, including her guitarist brother Phil, Mark Goldenberg, James Bryan, Russell Smith, Fred Marr, Ed Cooper, Ashley Cadell, Chaz Jankel, Michael Duff, Sean Sennett, and a great many others. She has said them in spades. Somewhere along the way, the great vocalist, once described by Richard Wilkins as part of Australian rock royalty, became quite legitimately billed as a true singer-songwriter. But from her solo reign at the end of the 80s, there was almost always a writing presence. The multi-platinum Brave album was notable for the title track, a top 20 hit, and That's What I Call Love, a top 30 hit. Her next album, Think About It, in 1991, saw her claim the title track as one of her 6 original compositions, which also included the hit See Right Through. By the time she got to the top 20 Blue Box in the mid-90s, she had contributed 9 songs, and its successor, the California-recorded Pash, was an entirely original offering. The Girl Can Help It in 2003 was all original, save for a couple of Tim Finn and Don Walker masterpieces, with the opening 3 tracks, Beautiful Life, Sunburn and Yes, being Kate's sole creations, both words and music. The case with last year's Kensal Green, a powerfully personal work which reaffirmed her status as one of the country's most important and accomplished creators. Over the years, Kate Ceberano's compositions have been able to stand alongside the rich vein of songs of which she has availed herself. True Romantic, Love Is Alive, Time to Think, Blue Box, Pash, Brave, Round This Time, Untouchable, Never Say Never, Magnet, Cherry Blossom Lipstick, and so many others are songs that have found their way into her definitive collections, onto singles, onto commemorative live albums, into the hearts of those who love her dearly. They are a part of who she is and where she has been. She has commanded so many areas of creative expression that it would be rather extraordinary if songwriting wasn't one of them. One of the great things about growing up, she said, is that you get to a point where you face off with yourself. And in the end, you have to be satisfied with who you are. Well, she reflected that when talking about the path that led to the Kensal Road album. It's like the stars have aligned now, she continued, and I've let go of the expectations of who other people think I should be. Ross Fraser and Sony Music reminded me that I was a singer-songwriter, and as that, I deserve to make an original record again. I feel that this album is exactly what was needed to be made and exactly what I want to say. And for many people, it's what they will want to hear, music that makes them feel good. Kate, of Filipino descent, perhaps has an ear for Spanish music that led to her seriously pursuing flamenco dance during a New York sojourn. She was influenced early by Hawaiian folk music, and she has been drawn to compelling pieces, such as the ethereal Calling You from the film Baghdad Cafe, which she recorded evocatively with guitarist Andrew Pendlebury. Kate Ceberano makes music with all the precious passion of one who arrived kicking and squalling on the big blue marble with the express purpose of doing nothing but. That part of the process is the crafting of songs. It's the reason she is with us tonight, following in the footsteps of other great Australian song masters. There's a lot to take in. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please show your very warm appreciation to the first female inductee into the Australian Songwriters Association's Hall of Fame, Miss Kate Ceberano.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. And if I'm tired, it's no wonder. Last week I turned 48 and I actually had been inadvertently lying about my age. I actually gained a year this year because I've been telling everyone I'm 49. How dumb is that? The only good thing about that is people say, gee, you look really good for your age. So I'm not going to tell anyone I'm any younger. Thank you so much. First of all, Glen A. Baker to me is an institution up there with someone like Molly Meldrum and has been a stable person for me actually as an artist to refer to converse with, to describe, you know, potentially what I might like to do. And then I had your agreement. You said yes, you know, if I said I wanted to sing some songs by Janice Ian or Roberta Flack or anyone else, it was always Glen A. Baker who would say, you know, anything is possible. You are able to do whatever you want. You just have to have the courage to go and do it. Here tonight, I see that there are many songwriters in the house who have started their career tonight, and congratulations to all of you who have won and have had your music given a moment. And it only takes a moment in one person's career to have a life in music. An absolute gift. Molly Meldrum gave me my moment when I was just 14 and I'd lied and said I was 16. And sometimes it takes lying about who you are, and that's the beauty of songwriting. May I just tell you, I wrote a few notes and I've already digressed, and I won't take a long time because you've been indulged with an awful lot of Kate Ceberano tonight. But as the first female inductee, I may say there probably are more worthy and perhaps women who've come before me who deserved to be here tonight, some of whom are actually not actually here anymore. And it grieves me very much, and I'm sad to think that that is because we as Australians have yet discovered how to share our love between men and women, but I'm not going to get into that here and now. I just would like to say, It is a wonderful honour and a privilege to be a part of your culture here tonight. The Songwriters and the awards that we're given mean more to us than any other award I think we could have in our careers. It means that our words have been listened to, and somewhere in the dark they've been of solace to someone who'd needed them. In fact, even tonight someone came up to me and explained a family situation that had happened that was pretty disastrous, and throughout the entire ordeal he listened to his cassette of Brave. And that's a true story. So you, as songwriters, you must never underestimate the potency of your work, and you must be brave. Just quickly, I'm just going to say a few thank yous because it's essential, and I'm just going to run through them fairly fast, but you'll know most of the people. First of all, the musicians that I've worked with in my life, and there are 3 of them standing back here waiting for me, who've given up tonight, no fee, just friendship, and have extended that friendship. I really admire that and love it. There are co-writers, producers, touring agents and promoters I've worked with. My publishers, which is Michael Gadinsky and Ian James, thank you so much. Over 20 years I've been working with you and you've been supporting my work. Dennis Handler and Ross Fraser at Sony for having balls big enough to let me do an originals record at the age of 47. Again, unprecedented in this country, and I don't know why that is, that women at a certain age aren't allowed to make their own music anymore. I can't tell you how many times I've been tempted to make you covers records, and I could make you every covers record under the sun, moon and stars, from Karen Carpenter to Roberta Flack to whoever you wanted me to be. But just for right now, I'd still like to be Kate Ceberano for a little longer. My manager, Ralph Carr, he's one of the great managers in the country, has managed and focused on careers such as Tina Arena, Vanessa Amorosi and myself, all of whom are great singer-songwriters. Former managers were my husband, Lee Rogers. He managed me on so many levels. And how do you manage the unmanageable? I don't know. There's been Richard East. My mother, Cherie Ceberano, was one of the first and most successful female managers in the business. And I'm sad she's not here today, but we celebrate this gift together. That's to Cherie Ceberano. There have been other people, Bruno Charlesworth and Martin Fabini. The co-author of my first ever recorded song, my long-term supporter and musician in my band, my brother, Phil Ceberano. My stepfather here tonight, he's my tour manager, my friend, and he's recording all of this. Thank you to send back to Cherie. And I could go on forever and ever, but today I had the most wonderful series of love letters by direct message. And I wish I could have put them all up online for you to see. They came from Molly Meldrum. And Molly is really one of the most truest and most authentic men I've ever met, actually, in music. He truly loves music, as I do as well. And I want this industry, I want this particular event to survive for as long as it possibly can, and I will support you and support this event, as does Molly and Michael, because I think to the artists this is the most important awards night for the industry. And so, lovely girls, amazing awards. Don't these girls look incredible? I only wish I'd come dressed in the same way tonight. You'd have shouts of like, put it away. You look gorgeous. And are they mine? All of those? Can I put that as a hat? I think that would make the most amazing hat. Thank you, Glen A. Baker, again. I would love to sing.
My distinct pleasure, Kate. My distinct pleasure.
Thank you. May I also just say here, come over here. I'll take a photo while we're in. There we go. Little Patty, if you're there, I just wanted to say g'day. And I don't know if you're still here, are you? I'm not sure. And earlier this year, we did a wonderful event for Chrissy Amphlett as a tribute to her and as a request of hers, actually. So I'd just like to honour Chrissy Amphlett tonight, if that's okay. Another great songwriter, ladies and... Yes. We just got papped. Okay, so like I said, thank you, girls. I think I might just get down to what I really love to do, and that's going to sing a few songs. Is that all right?
Yeah, we did notice that you mentioned you had some musicians lurking behind the curtain.
I did.
Could you be persuaded to make music with them for our delight?
I would love to sing a couple of my songs for you tonight. Okay, so way back in the beginning, when I first started my career, and I'll move the curtains as we reveal my musicians and my friends. Here we go. Thank you. I was in London and I was, ta-da! I'd been invited to go and work with Malcolm McLaren, and I was the age of 17. And I arrived at his studio. And I'd been following very closely the career of a girl named Annabelle Lewin, and I'd just shaved my head. I had a really gorgeous Mohican, and it was the post-punk British era. And I wanted to be like Bow Wow Wow, but you see, you know, when I walked in and started singing for him, he said, "Oh no, oh no, oh no, this is all wrong. I've already got you. I've already had you. You know, I've already made you." And I just went, Jesus, I just got to be myself here. I don't care at what cost. I may never make a dime in the business, but I just have to be myself, and that's still not turned on. So as it's turning on, I'll get to it in a second. So I signed a record deal, and one of the first things I committed myself to doing was to write the first song that I'd ever written, and that was with my brother. Now, Mr. Soundman, are you ready for an exchange of microphones? Okay, here we go. We're just going to check. There we are. Hello. There we go. There's a ninja. Thank you very much. It was one of the most comforting things recently to be on tour and playing drums, because I didn't have to stand up in high heels. I could actually sit down, which was awesome. But since I'm sporting such an excellent pair of heels tonight, I thought, fuck it. And that was very professional, wasn't it? Those high heels are going to be the ruin of every great microphone. I'm so sorry, sir. All right, here we go. Just kick that there. We go. Ooh. Hang on a second. Can I just stop for a second? I need a glass of water. I'm a little bit emotional right now. Can I just stop for a second? Can I have a glass of water? I'm actually gonna cry if I just don't stop for a second. Can I do it? No, I mean, God, they did bang on about me there for a bit. I'm actually a bit overwhelmed. It's been a big year, and I never expected that I would ever get something like this, because I didn't think of myself as a musician. I've never thought of myself as a musician until right now. And I'm really, really so happy. I'm very embarrassed to be crying like this. So, I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening.
Shall we do instrumental versions of the songs? You could just dance while you're crying there.
Ah, Jesus. Okay. I'm all good. Okay, here we go. As long as you like. Calling a million miles away, as my heartbeat fills the silence
to say. My mother used to tell me, girl, time for you will come. And so I sit back and I hold tight. My time has just begun, and I will never walk away. Just be brave and stay. Hold me to the end, and in your arms I rise up high. I look forward to tomorrow. I remember yesterday. Oh, when I was scared of the darkness, saying things I shouldn't say. But now my life has changed. Just look what I've become. And I won't sit back hold tight. Oh no, my life has just begun. And I will never walk away. Just be brave and stay. Hold me to the end, and in your arms will rise up high. Life has been fun as a child tonight. Oh, but I found I keep searching for something more. I may play this badly, and but I don't care. Do you care? Because the point is, what we're talking about tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is conceiving an idea and then being able to execute it. And when you're writing songs, for any of you out there, my only advice is don't criticise the work you're doing as you're doing it, and don't write with pens that have rubbers on the end. Wake up when you're feeling rested. Dress up for the day like it's your birthday. For what the hell, nobody knows. And who cares if you lay your hand upon Buddha's head each time you close the door? 'Cause I know you're not so superstitious. You just think it's kinda cool. We could just pretend that we're two jumbo jets, take off flying way up high. Or maybe we could change our minds if you prefer a rocket ride to the stars. Beautiful life, beautiful life. And to think we nearly didn't make it, so very nearly blew this photograph. Darling, I am loving you in black and white. And I can feel you move, I feel you float across the earth to sound the morning light. 'Cause darling, you are the spirit of the dawn, and I'm the spirit of the night. We could just pretend that we're two jumbo jets, take off flying way up high. Or maybe we could change our minds if you'd prefer the rocket ride to the stars. Now, darling, you could sing out loud if you wanted to, and I'll forgive you if you sing off key. I know I'm gonna fuck up this next chord. It just makes you more beautiful to me. Oh my God. Oh my God, man. I was not expecting that.
I was so poised, you know. I was sitting there watching that 30-something plus years, and I just didn't really realise, right until this exact moment, I've never ever honoured myself with a musician tag. I was a pop singer and had been a pop singer. And now I'm sitting here amongst my friends. This is Paul Cecchinelli. Roddy Bustos. And James Ryan. And we're making music. And it's as easy as this. Shall we?
Touch between the lines, can you read my lips? Can you read my mind? Take my fingertips. I would really like to just hang around, crawl back into bed. it's just got to splurge. I really like to just hang around. Come back into bed, babe. Turn off the phone. Thank you. God bless. Good night. I will do my best to do my best from now until I die. Good night.
Thanks indeed to Kate Ceberano. A great performance and, of course, a great career. Congratulations on tonight's accolade being added to what you've already achieved in the music industry. All, of course, once more from the Australian Songwriters Association.